Welcome back to our Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay Jagger.
And I'm Keith Williams.
On today's episode, we're going to talk about financial abuse. The Boeing incident continues. Airlines cracking down on line jumping, Tim Cook from Apple, and the Cleveland Browns. So stay tuned for another episode. Let's go.
Let's go. We're back a week early.
Heck yeah, we are. Because we do it for the fans.
Yeah, I lied to the people, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It was in a good way.
It's a good lie.
Yeah.
Sometimes lies are good.
Yeah.
Not every lie, but some.
Yeah. Which brings us to sparkling ice.
Because it's not a lie?
No, it's real.
It's real. Let me crack this baby open. We've definitely had this flavor before.
Yeah.
Watermelon lemonade. Big fan of these.
I think at the point now, I think we've had like
all of them.
All of them.
This is a caffeine plus, so this episode's about to get real, folks.
We're back to sharing.
I like it.
Cause why not?
Cause this is it's a dinner party.
Yeah. People bring drinks and you share your drinks. Yeah. Have you tried this beautiful beverage?
I think we tried.
Yeah.
Or are you asking? You're asking the folks at home.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I was at a dinner party in real life for a second.
Let's see. Watermelon lemonade, caffeine plus, zero sugar, vitamins, antioxidants. It's basically healthy and giving you a jolt of energy.
Basically, look at all those vitamins. 3 of them, from what I can see.
But doesn't even taste like a vitamin, which is my favorite type of vitamin.
Unless it's the Flintstones.
Woo! All right. I am pumped to talk about this first topic. Financial abuse. It sounds... first off, it's awful. It's a terrible topic. But you gotta let me walk you through the story. So for our chronic online individuals, they may have already heard about this. There's a Houston couple that recently sat down with Caleb Hammer, who's famous for walking people through their spending, helping them make changes. He interviews some of the most infuriating people, in my opinion, because sometimes they'll have like these just like stupid privilege things about debt and say it with a smile, like being like, I just want to be a Lululemon, like stay at home mom. I'm overspending. I'm fun employed until I find my, you're just like, I don't know. These people are terrible. Honestly, all of them are terrible. Well, maybe not all of them. I don't know how he does it though. His podcast is called Financial Audit. I think you can also find him on Instagram, TikTok, but people apply to go on it. In his most recent episode, he interviewed this couple from Houston, and the wife clearly is financially abusive, and people have called them out online. He works, she doesn't. She took out a $6,000 loan to pay for a vacation, and he had no idea.
Oh.
No idea. He pulls in around $120K a year in Houston, so he does fine. They have 2 kids. So, honestly, at $120,000, I think I would rather pull in a double paycheck because 2 kids. But to their point, she stays home with the kids. So she's a flight attendant. She works on weekends occasionally.
Okay.
So she has some income, but not a lot. And that shit's expensive, point blank. So whatever. But she spends themselves into debt monthly, like overspends. She said she talks about going to Target, spending $600, knowing it's all crap, and she just won't return it, even though she's aware that she should return it. And her excuse basically was like, I know I have a problem. I don't do anything. Like, she flew to LA to get her hair done and then complained about her husband's twice a month golf outing. Oh. He's in a golf league.
Wow.
Right. And she flew. Now, the flight was free because she's a flight attendant.
Okay.
But she spent $700 on her hair in LA. Like, you just don't need to go to LA to get I'm somebody who's lived in LA, and I lived in Dallas, so I feel like I can compare. There are talented people in Houston. Houston's our 4th largest city.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to LA to get your hair done.
No. There
is someone in Houston that can do it for you. Also, I feel like the Texas blonde is the staple of blondes. This girl was blonde, so I don't know what she's doing. It was wild. But the internet is divided.
Oh.
So in your opinion as a man, is the husband, like, should he have done more? Or, like, you know, some of her spending is in secret, but they do share finances, or at least my understanding is that they share finances. It seems to me the one secret was the loan she took off to pay off credit card so they could go on that vacation. But like she's saying, I book vacations, he just comes. And he's like, yeah, but I don't like that. I would like to know what you're booking, what you're doing, and things like that. So like your wife is also, just so people know, the exact opposite. She's probably the most fiscally responsible person you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
So you're in a complete opposite. So do you think this man, because a lot of people are calling him a beta male, which I hate, but they're like, he should stand up. He should have like done something, like this is his family, his finances. He should take control. Or the other side of it is obviously that she's a brat and he should divorce her.
So I think both partners should know like the monthly expenses. Like that's part of being together, I think. I mean,
being a household.
Yeah, we, you know, the way we do ours, like it's kind of like I have my things that I pay for.
Yeah.
She has things she pays for. I pay all the bills. She pays the mortgage. Mm-hmm. And it evens out.
Sure. And is that like based off of basically it's like I make this much, you make that much, so you kind of like balance how much, who's spending what, or?
Not really. It's just...
got to keep that credit score up too.
Yeah, we've just always done it that way. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
I've always just done the bills. They're all, you know... I don't know. It's just the way we did it. I don't even know how we got there.
I would almost guess...
just for there.
Because it seems like, I mean, a mortgage is probably your more expensive bill, so to speak, right?
Yeah, but like the bills kind of...
that's what I guess I'm saying is like, I would wonder if you do end up kind of spending probably similar amounts of cash to cover your costs each month.
Yeah, we do.
How do you handle fun money? Like you want to go, I don't know that disc golf costs anything, but let's say you turn that into a real serious passion. Like what's your fun money take?
So we have separate accounts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she has her money, I have my money.
Yeah.
So if I have money, I just do it.
Right. How do you save money then?
Well, we use the same credit card.
Okay.
And then, you know, she goes through the statement every month and divides what needs to be divided and then gives what's hers to her, mine to mine. And then she sends me like, here, you owe this much. She owes this much. And we just pay it.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Do you have anything you've saved for together?
So we have like these other accounts as well. We both have them where we put money in there to pay for other things.
Sure.
We kind of have like two savings accounts, but one of them is not really a savings account. We just use it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we still save.
Sure.
But separately.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that's a good point too. I'm divorced, but we also had separate accounts.
It's just easier.
I think there is some ease to it. The difference is I don't know that I ever had like visual understanding of what he was spending in a month. Sometimes new cars came home and I was like, cool. Because he made a lot more money than I did. Okay. So I paid some bills, but I paid smaller bills because I just wasn't making money like that. So I think I almost like some of this story. I was like, oh yeah, like I definitely relate to like vacation. I mean, he was not putting us into debt. I mean, I guess I don't know that he put us into debt. He actually did put us into debt, but it was very much his debt actually because we kept things separate. Yeah. But definitely relate to being like, oh, we're going on vacation. Okay, I didn't know. Like trips that I just like felt like they popped up or had to go on or different things. Very different. But I do think it's so smart to keep things separate because I have to believe that this man's paycheck, his $120,000 a year, no state taxes, just federal. Yeah. Because he's in Texas. But I was like, she has total access to that. That's a little scary. especially if you're with someone that clearly has a problem and intends to do absolutely nothing about it. To me, because she recognizes that she has a problem and she's like, and I just don't stop.
She doesn't want to.
Right, exactly. I'm like that. And I think that is what Caleb Hammer kind of got down to. He's like, yeah. He was like, you're not an alcoholic. Like, it's not. He was like, you recognize the problem. So fix it. Like, and I think there has to be a will. You can't just recognize a problem and be like, oh, because I recognize it, it should stop. Like, no, you have to like put forth effort to change.
She's a shopaholic.
She's a shopaholic. Spendaholic. I don't know. It was so crazy to me, but I kind of saw myself in that where I was like, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what he made, if he made anything, because he was a trust fund kid. My ex-husband was. Okay. So I just like didn't have awareness of like what he was making ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I just had to rely on the fact that things would get paid.
Could you see his bank account?
No. I had no visuals on finances. I did not know what he made in a month, in a year, or what he spent. I just had to trust that things got paid. And honestly, sometimes things didn't get paid. Oh. Sometimes we lost insurance because stuff lapsed. Yeah. So I totally can kind of relate to this man where you're like, well, I thought, like, when I saw a lot of hate for him being passive, I was like, I don't know, you can only do so much. And they're married. And so they're obviously kind of trying to get help in a very public way. But I felt for him. I was like, that's his wife. He can only say so much unless he also takes action of maybe putting his money into a separate bank account so she doesn't have access and doing, I don't know. But then I'm like, does she run out and go get like another loan without him knowing if she had her own credit card and own finances? Like, I don't know what happens in this situation.
Yeah, that's because like we can see each other's accounts.
Sure.
Like the bank has it like linked. So
I think having awareness is like the biggest, like you need transparency in a healthy relationship, whether that's like personal or like business even. Like transparency is kind of the key to any communication.
Yeah.
I wish them well, but I think this man has a wild divorce coming up. For the record, he had a full head of hair, but it was gray, and there's no way he's any older than we are.
Yeah, he needs to either cut her off.
Right.
Because, I mean, I understand she doesn't have a job, but a flight attendant on the weekends sometimes.
Right, because she's taking care of the kids.
Yeah. I mean, I get that makes sense.
Right, you're like,
child care is expensive.
Yeah.
But what would she do if she didn't have him? Like, what's she gonna do?
I think Caleb actually asked that question too, and I think the general was kind of like, I guess I would just work more. But that, I don't know. You say that because what else would she say?
Yeah. You
know, like, yeah, you would have to work more if you didn't, because you don't have money. But like, what would you I don't know.
A lot more than what you're probably getting.
I don't know, but debt is way scarier. Like this girl, she could have just been nervous. I know I can have like a nervous laugh, nervous smile, but she was laughing all the way through this. You've never wanted to punch someone harder in your life than when you watch this girl talk about just putting her family into unsurmountable debt. Yeah. Because that's like, it's crazy hard to pay off. You will always be paying for things as long as you're living in a house, you know? Yeah. Those bills don't stop coming. And then to add to other things. And she had some pretty large, frivolous, she got like a boob job that she was still paying off. So yeah. Interesting. But I wish them all the best.
You know, I've seen Caleb Hammer's, I've seen his videos on like my YouTube feed.
Sure.
I watched one, but then I was like, these people are so stupid. I can't watch any more of his videos. Like,
that's what, like, he literally interviews the worst people ever.
Yeah, I can't watch them because I'm like, how are you this dumb?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you are racking up this debt and you haven't done anything to fix it.
Like, are these real people?
How do you?
But I believe they are.
I try not to judge people because, you know, it's so easy to judge when you don't have the problem, have never had the problem.
Right.
And once you're in it, it's probably really hard. But I've had some friends, you know, have some pretty big debts, especially from like college loans.
Oh, yeah.
And they've made it through them. So I hope I don't know their names. I don't know if they actually posted their names. Maybe he knew this was going to be a racy one.
Yeah.
But that one was a hard one. That's all I'll say. All right, on to our next topic. Because we are the official spokespeople of Boeing. Little Boeing update for the crowd.
Yeah, I need one. I haven't been.
They're in the hole.
Oh.
But not in a golf way. Kind of
Okay.
like they relate. Boeing might need Caleb, actually. I'll say that.
Set up the podcast.
Yep.
Set it up.
Boeing recorded a $6 billion quarterly loss recently, this week, actually. In addition, its workers rejected a deal to end a 6-week strike on Wednesday. So the work stoppage being the main cause of that $6 billion loss, the deal would have given workers a 35% raise over the next 4 years. 64% of the union members voted against the agreement. The company's stock dropped. It's just an ongoing saga of pain for Boeing. So I thought we could speculate and say, what do you think will actually get these workers back to work? Because nothing's working. Nothing's working. The planes are barely working. I mean, everything's awful. Everything's not awesome. Everything's not great.
I think
I rewrote the song.
money.
Yeah, just flat money will get these people in.
Yeah.
What rate? I mean, because it was noted that this 35% raise that they offered, I don't think it touched any benefits, like any other packages. So I want to know if it's like, is the 35% raise good, but they want also like 35% more elsewhere? Like whatever union members get. I honestly am not like privy to all of their packages.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Like better retirement funds or better healthcare, better bonuses, like what and where? I do think you're right. I think it probably is more money. I know at one point, I think they even talked about vacations though. Do they need more vacation time?
Why not? I mean, why can't we be like the Europeans and just take a month off at a time?
Because everyone goes off in August and I can't stand it. Do you know how bad traffic would be if everything's closed but everybody's trying to get somewhere? How's a hotel open? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Well, that's because everything's under construction right now. That's just Indianapolis.
And with all those farmer kids here now.
FAA is FFA.
FFA. They're here.
Yeah. Not the airline assistant.
No,
Yeah.
you can walk outside and see cowboy hats on lime scooters.
Navy blue cord jackets for years, not just days, years. Every state, the kids have descended upon Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. And let me just say, shout out to the FFA girls, but y'all skirts, whatever they are, they're short. I've seen some real short ones. Oh. Yeah.
I just saw.
These are like teenage girls. We need to get I want some finger length. Let's bring that back. We had that in elementary school.
Yep.
Bring it back because I have seen some short skirts. I was like, y'all's moms are not here. I can tell.
All I saw on the way here was jeans.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what, though? It's in some way, it's kind of precious. I like it. I saw a boy from Atlanta hitting on a girl from South Dakota today. I thought it was very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I mean, I think it was fine. I didn't fully eavesdrop in, but his starting line was just like, so where are you from? And she was like, South Dakota. What about you? And he was like, Atlanta. And then he was just like, had the Atlanta Riz.
Oh, man.
I don't know that South Dakota was ready for it.
You should have got the full.
I'm sorry for not getting the full scoop. I was focused on Boeing. I wondered what their workers needed, not what South Dakota needed to work with Atlanta there.
Okay. Well, Boeing.
Oh, it's time for jelly beans because there is a train going by.
I think I have a. No, I don't have a train. I just got the air horn.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to take a red one. It feels less scary. Cinnamon.
This one looks like cotton candy or soap.
By the way, these are the Harry Potter every flavor beans. Is that soap?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to do blue because I don't know what blue is. It's also like navy blue.
All the mouth sounds.
I know. I was like, this is actually the worst part of a podcast we can ever hear. Like, hey, just listen to me chew real loud.
We'll put that on the ASMR channel that we have.
I don't know if the navy blue is good or bad. I could see this being soap, but I also think it might just try to be blue raspberry.
That one?
Yeah. It's not the worst. Listen, this green one has brown in it. It makes me feel like it could be caramel apple, but something tells me it's also grass. Right?
It looks gross.
I'm afraid of that one. I'm real afraid of that one.
Navy blue's not bad.
No, I just couldn't tell what it was. It kind of did taste like soap for a hot second. I think this one is either dirt or marshmallow. It's like white and brown. Try to chew away from it.
All right, last one for me.
I think the train's gone, so we can go back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, it's safe.
So was this jelly bean. It was definitely marshmallow. I'm good. Woo!
Pink was good, too.
I've got a lot of woos today. This caffeine in our sparkling ice is really hitting me. All right. Well, best of luck to Boeing. Maybe they do just need more money, but I don't know where you get more money if you're $6 billion down. So, Caleb Hammer to the floor.
Maybe they should build the next,
Not a spaceship, that's for sure.
No, I'm thinking ocean.
Ocean Gate.
Yep.
All it takes is an Xbox. I feel like they can do it.
They gotta have one.
Because the Ocean Gate thing did make it to the bottom of the ocean a few times before it imploded.
Before its last
If
trip.
that thing can do a few trips, Boeing can do a few trips.
Yeah.
We just can't bring it back. Well, whatever. Best of luck to them. I think I'm just wishing everyone luck at the end of every topic now. It's fine. We'll end on one note.
Everybody needs the good luck, though. That's the sad part.
I know. I don't know if I have any. I don't know how.
You just have bad
news. Does it
news.
actually, work? Yeah, I do. I just have bad news.
Bad news.
Well, it's only going to get worse. Anyway, stick with me. American Airlines developed a new tool that would prevent passengers from boarding before their group. This helps keep the coveted overhead bin space available for passengers who probably pay more, bought seats on time, and are more than likely also members to their frequent flyer club. Currently being tested in New Mexico, Arizona, and DC. Early feedback has supposedly been positive. Kind of makes sense because people hate gate jumpers, right? Everybody hates being cut in line. So I can see it. My understanding is that as gate agents scan tickets, if the person is boarding in the wrong group, the computer will now have a loud beep that goes off, alerts the agent. They send them to the back of the line, basically.
How does it not already have that? That's so easy.
I've also 100% seen gate agents look at tickets and tell someone it's not your group.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I've also been in places where I'm I can't hear the gate agent and the board's not working, so I don't know what group we're on. So if I'm earlier, I just kind of take a guess, right? If I'm group 1, I'm just going the first time I see people. If I'm group 3, I give it a second. It's also supposed to cut down on the crowd at the gate, as soon as they call for boarding, people rush the gate because no one can wait to sit on a plane, apparently. Everybody's just super excited to sit on that plane.
You kind of want to get on last because then you're sitting less.
Right. Unless you really, really need that overhead space. Yeah. But even then, you just check your bag at the gate. Yeah. They'll bring it. It's not a big deal. I was kind of a bitch. You can beat me out later. But I have a great story. So I was in London Heathrow on American Airlines flying home. And we're at the gate because at the time I flew quite a bit. I was concierge key. I was very fancy, P1 boarding class.
Okay.
This woman, I guess, was with her husband. I guess they were group 1, which boards after concierge key. And she's literally they've called for boarding. We start to go because they've called concierge key. And I hear her go, I hate when group 2 crowds the boarding area. And so when I passed her, I said, I hate when group 1 crowds the boarding area.
Yeah.
Because stop it. That's so cringy. First off, it is annoying that everyone rushes forward. It's not group 2. It's literally, it's like the random people. It's not, it's just like, it's not a
she
status. She did.
Okay.
She did. Cause she commented and goes, oh, well, because what is she supposed to do? I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm concierge key and you are in my way. Get out of it. But I just thought, I was like, this is not a time to be snobby. Like, it's not a snobby thing. It's just an annoyance that you cannot maneuver your way and follow the instructions if there's a crowd there. It's not about being better than group 2 or group 3 or group 7 or group 18, whatever they go to. It is simply the annoyance of like, there's not actually a rush here and I'm just trying to follow directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's single file line, guys. We learned this in kindergarten.
It's where I honestly think Southwest might have it figured out because they do just have a single file line.
Yeah, and you follow people. What gets me is every time people in, group C try to board with their family in group A or B, and they always get caught. No, you gotta wait. It's not your turn.
Yeah,
because it's open seating, so
which is going away.
Yeah, you can't let group C guy.
No.
Get a group A.
Group A paid too, if I remember right.
Yeah. So.
No, I can't stand with the uppityness of the group 1 to group whatever situation, but also like just don't crowd the gate. Like that's all it's about. It's not about like hierarchy. It's about like organization.
Yeah.
Shout out to that woman for being group 1. I think the best thing to come out of this is that there's a new to me term called gate lice. And that is the people that crowd the boarding area.
Gate lice.
Gate lice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't wait to bust that out at the airport next time.
Yeah, look at all these gate lice.
Yeah. I'm going to go up to the agent. Look at all these gate lice.
Look at all these gate lice.
Yeah.
By the way, could you reprint my ticket, please?
Yeah, I lost it.
I don't know what else is going on here, but.
And then as she hands you your group 6 boarding pass, you stand right there.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm here now, so I'm not giving up the space.
Why would I walk back and then back,
now it feels like a whole trip, right? Yeah. No, I'm not trying to do that. I don't know. Crazy, crazy times. I do wonder, because I think it's just like a addition to an already existent computer program. So I assume this will be adopted very quickly by all of the airlines.
Well, hopefully the update goes smoothly. You know how they are when they update their software.
Oh, yeah. They're like one patch for everyone immediately. Don't test it. Yeah. Well, at least we know they are testing this one.
All flights are canceled today. Sorry.
Sorry. The first time one guy who's in group 4 tries to board with group 2, shuts down the whole system. Done.
Airport's closed.
We were like, well, we don't know how to fix it if you do it.
Yeah.
Like, they let him on. They're like, we lost all control here. Yeah. We lost all control. My question is like, so let's say the board, because there's the TV screen behind them. It tells you like who's on a wait list. It tells you what group is boarding.
Yeah.
That goes down. If you can't, because the speakers constantly in an airport sound like, hello, have you seen like airline 452 now boarding?
Oh, and then another one will come on over yours.
Yeah, you talk while I talk.
And
we'll
then you can't hear the first one.
Boarding to Chicago. So, yeah. Boarding to Chicago. Yeah. Like for whatever reason, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So to some degree, I don't blame people. I know I've definitely been looking at boards trying to listen to people. I'm like, well, I've just got to walk closer because I have no idea what's going on. Like, I'm just trying to pay attention for context clues at this point.
Yeah.
So I think this is very trite with airs. I think TBD on. I think they should do it because I get it. There's probably so many people in an allotted amount of groups, right? Like, there's probably a bigger reason to it.
I think a lot of people, too, just want to stand up early and, just stand up because they're not going to be able to for a while.
Yeah.
So they just were like, I'm going to stretch my legs. And
I genuinely think that's a lesser reason.
That's what I do.
I think most people don't.
Oh,
I think most people genuinely get excited and they get ready to line up and get on.
I'm just a stretch your legs guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me tell you, I've definitely bought a seat ticket late on an airline I don't fly. And if I am boarding last, I know I'm about to check that bag and I'm going to hang out. I'm probably going to go use the restroom because I want to use a real restroom.
Yeah.
One last time. I'm going to go maybe buy a full bottle of water. Just like, I'm not going to worry. Also, I don't like to get on a plane first. Like, I'm going to get on last, closest to last, if I am, like, if I can.
Okay.
If I'm there at the airport early, then it is what it is. But I pretty much try to, like, roll up right when they're boarding.
Have you ever been, like, first class?
Yeah.
And you just look at all of those people walk by you?
Well, I used to fly a lot, so I'd get the, like, upgrade all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was first classed a lot. And because you're first class, I also don't need to fight for overhead bin space. So that's actually probably where my habit of rolling onto a plane late came from, is because I was like, I don't have to worry about the space. And obviously you have a seat. It's not like your seat's going to go away.
But did you like looking at all the peasants?
Not because I got on last. I was like, I'm not going to just like chill in a seat for the hell of chilling in a seat.
Yeah.
Why? I don't want to be in that recycled can of fart air. like that's what that is. Yeah. Why are we doing this? Don't do that to yourself.
No.
What am I missing out on?
A lot of air purifiers. Hopefully.
Nah, not enough.
Not enough?
Not enough. Definitely not pure. You know that. If they have a purifier, that filters never change.
No.
No. That plane's never
Boeing
cleaned.
made it.
Broken. It never worked. It never worked. Let's move on, because there's something else that, well, someone didn't know ever worked. Tim Cook, in an interview with Wall Street Journal, the Apple CEO, was notably confused by the idea that you could name a group chat. Once he found out about the feature offered on his own product, Cook proudly revealed that he named his group chat with his college roommates.
Oh, so creative.
Super original, super late. Wait until he finds out that Android users get separate notifications per text in a group chat. He's gonna lose his mind over that one, I think. But thoughts? Should he have known that was doable? Seems weird that he didn't know,
yeah,
right?
He should definitely know.
Yeah, right? Like, that's your product. I feel like, would he have not been the person? It could have been Steve Jobs, because I feel like it's been around for a while now. I don't know. But would he have not been the person that would have introduced the idea of, like, group chats and what you could do with group chats? Would that have been like a Steve Jobs or Tim Cook thing? Because he's been around for a while now. Steve Jobs has not been with us for a good amount of time.
I don't remember when that came out. Like,
do it.
I'm just while.
I get that maybe as CEO, he can't explain how every piece of technology, like the inner workings, and certainly like Apple has a lot of products and has a lot of great features across the board on those products. Just feels like you should know that one, right? Do you think he knows you can pin conversations? Because that, I threw some people off. I taught an old man how to do that once.
Like?
I was like your wife, pin her to the top so you don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What if I didn't know you could do that?
Man.
Hold on. Can you do that on Android?
Keith was the old man that I taught how to pin things to the top.
Is that a thing?
All right, we're going to break this out. Ready?
Well.
So I go to my, maybe blur it out, but you can pin conversations. So I don't know how many you can pin. Yeah, so I could pin her.
Okay.
Oh, no, I've pinned too many conversations.
Oh, there's a little pin button.
Oh my gosh, you can do it too. All right, Android users, you too can pin conversations to the top of whatever chat.
My boss,
I guess yours is Google, so maybe specifically Google does that.
Yeah, my boss was making fun of me the other day.
Because you're a tech guy that's like old school. So you and Tim Cook actually have a bit in common.
He's like, look at you showing off your emotes from Android. Because now we can do that with Apple.
Oh, you can thumbs up a conversation. Yeah. Can you heart it or just thumbs up?
Oh, yeah. I can
What options do you get?
I can do all of the things.
Okay, yeah, you do. Android finally getting with it.
Well, it's because of this whole RCS text that Apple has finally decided to allow.
You mean the lawsuit that's looming over them? Yeah.
It's funny how they always lose and have to do everything Android's doing.
Well, they have to open it up to everything Android's doing.
Like the whole, charging cable, USB-C now. It's so much easier. A lot less cables in the world.
It was also super annoying because anyone that's been in the iPhone world for a while, I mean, how many iterations of chargers have we gone through?
Yeah.
You know, it's too many. I don't want to buy a new type of charger every time I get a phone and it was probably every 3, like, I don't know, 3 new installments of a phone, like every 3 years or however, like that you would end up getting a new charger. But still, that's kind of crazy and super annoying when you're like, oh, we both have Apples. We can't share anything because you're 2 years behind me. Like, silly nonsense. Well, I was going to judge Tim Cook, but now I'm just going to judge you. So
you should. You know what?
Hey, phones have features. Google things, Chat GPT it, whatever. Find out what your phone can do for you today.
I don't know. I don't know what this did though. Like it just has a pin there. I don't.
Well, maybe yours doesn't do it. I don't know. Apple users, pin your combos to your loved ones.
Maybe she's always at the top. Here, I'll send a text to someone. And he should move to the top. I'm just gonna say text. He won't even know.
I'll be like, text who?
Oh, I meant to say test.
Did you just double text him?
No, just once. Okay, yeah. It did not put him to the top.
Okay, so yours is a little different, but it still works. This is real-time science, guys. We're basically scientists. Learning. We are teachers, researchers, analysis. But it's time to move on to the next topic.
Let's do... Ooh.
Phones down, kid. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Final topic. It gets worse. Ready? The Browns are shit and they hate it.
Yeah. Well...
And that's the Cleveland Browns for our NFL fans or non-NFL fans. NFL's for the girls now, obviously. So for the boys, there's this thing called football. Don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's called the Cleveland Browns. Also, by the way, they have a creepy elf as a mascot. Don't love it. Don't love it.
Yeah.
Not really sure why they have an elf. Actually, I know what a brown is. Do you know what a brown is?
Sandwich?
They were named after their original owner, whose last name was Brown. That's why they're the Cleveland Browns. Did he look like a Keebler elf? I don't know. But this isn't actually the reason why they suck. Deshaun Watson, their quarterback, is kind of known for being the worst in so many ways. He's a terrible person, number one.
Yeah.
24 sexual misconduct and assault charges, and 24 assault charges settled. So that's concerning. He tore his Achilles in the game this last Sunday. People cheered. For the record, he was booed coming onto the field.
Yeah, he was.
So these people have stayed consistent in their feelings for this man.
Well, for whatever reason, the Browns traded for him.
They did.
After all of those things.
Yeah, they said that's okay. He had like an 11-game suspension. Was he with the Browns when that happened?
Yes.
Okay. So they traded for him.
There.
They were like, well, we won't have to use him for 11 games. It'll be fine.
On the bench for like the whole year.
Yeah, and he looked pissed. Remember, people hated the way he was even waiting. People don't even like the way this man waits.
Why is he... I mean, Cleveland had they got what was coming to them.
They did. They picked a shit person, and they've gotten shit from the shit person. His teammates came to his defense, which Jameis Winston, he went through a false, I think, or like supposed sexual misconduct situation right out of college. I think that was thrown out. I don't think there was proof to it. So I think this is somebody who maybe could feel like he understands where Deshaun is. Basically said, I wasn't taught to kick a man while he's down. But Deshaun just seems like a trash person. I think they're reacting, like they're being protective of a teammate, but the crowd has consistently disliked him. They don't like that he's a shit person. They don't like that he's a shit football player. They don't like him. Like, I don't think they were cheering for this man's torn Achilles. I think they were finally like, yes, we get rid of him. Like, they haven't wanted him ever or at all.
I can't remember who their backup is. Is it Jameis?
It's Jameis Winston. But there's just a huge kind of hot take on, like, damn, that was really cold for the fans to like boo a man when he just like tore his Achilles. Or like the other side of it is kind of like yeah, like the fans kind of have a right. Like the fans have never liked him, so it's consistent. That's kind of the other say. I would say Like, those are the two sides. It's like, should you have booed him? Should you have stood up for him? Like, I think the division comes to the reaction to the reaction. Like, his teammates supporting him is what people are reacting to. I think one thing everyone agrees with is that he's a bad quarterback. He sucks. He was not worth whatever they traded. Like, the air they breathe, potentially. I don't know what they traded. And I would also say, again, like, the fans have consistently disliked him. He's not a good person. Like, we're not standing up for someone that's great. Yeah. Like, he had, like, maybe he gives a ton of money to a homeless shelter. That's dirty money in my book. Like, that's dirty money in my book. Because he shouldn't even be in the NFL. No. He has 24 sexual misconduct assault charges. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I feel like if this man isn't connected to P. Diddy, I give up. Like, it just feels like he might be. Ooh. I don't know. What's your take, though? What's your take? Do you think his teammates should have stood up for him? Or should they have just been, like, you know, silent? Like, what's your opinion?
I think silence is good. Because then you're not saying anything. Good or bad.
I mean, I actually don't know what spurred. I think the news genuinely asked him, like, what do you think of the fan reaction to Deshaun going down? How would you have answered that, though? Dead silence.
Then I guess you got to say something then. That's a... You know what, though? That they had to have, like, trained the players. They're like, okay, PR team, if you get this, you know, any sort of question about Deshaun, you know, say this.
You know, I would say, as someone who spent a lot of time in specifically sport PR, I agree with you. I think this is so, like, immediately after the game that they didn't have time to PR train up anyone. I do think he was already a hot enough topic, though, that they probably should have had some sort of direction ready for people.
Oh, yeah. You're going to bring in something like that.
You know. Right. You're like, hey, we have a quarterback that, you know, we don't comment on, maybe, is what it would have been. And that direction would have done a world of good here. I don't think people hate Jameis Winston for sticking up for his teammate. To some degree, it's honorable, but I also think it's glazing over the severe, like, severity of his actions. It's sexual assault charges. He ruined women's lives. These are moments in time these women cannot get back. I don't know that I feel bad that he gets booed running onto an NFL field because it means he's getting paid millions of dollars. Like, I just don't know that I feel bad that people felt elated when he went down. I think they had the right response. Like, toughen up, Buttercup. You made life really hard on other people. If the hardest part in your life is a crowd of people booing you, I don't know. Does money cover the pain? Feels like it might.
I remember when Cleveland traded for him, everybody was just, like, shocked. Like, why would they give up so much?
You would think that would be a guy that you would, like, steer clear from, because you're like, do we really want to deal with that?
Nobody was going to, like, he was going to get dropped probably by the Texans.
For sure. And I mean, obviously, they have CJ Stroud now, who's mega star.
And, you know, he probably just would have been on a free agent.
And then, like, went away into the abyss with many others. Yeah.
And Cleveland was like, no, give me him now.
We've got to have that.
Yeah, that's really good for us.
We need some Deshaun Watson.
We need people to talk about the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, they were like, you know, when you think Brown, what do you think of?
But you know what?
Oh, let's get someone that identifies as shit.
I think before they traded for Watson, they had Baker Mayfield.
Who doing excellent in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and I think...
Or at least pretty good, right? Like, they're okay.
When the Browns had Baker...
They were doing great with Baker. Good. He had, like, some commercial... I don't know who his big sponsor was, but it felt like a big deal because it was like, man, the Browns haven't had anyone to celebrate like that in a minute.
Oh, yeah,
right?
He was always, like, at the stadium, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just... Like, he lived there.
Yeah,
kind of yeah. Yeah, no, I think right now, Baker's, like, number 2 or 3 fantasy quarterback right now.
Yeah. That's also, this is sort of a side topic from the Browns. Baker Mayfield had to like sue his family for mishandling funds. And I can only imagine how difficult that is to find out that your family has taken advantage of you financially. Kind of circles back to our initial topic. So what a guy. I feel like Baker Mayfield has been through a lot. I think he's somebody that people can get behind, actually. Just seems like, I don't know, just very difficult predicament because it was his parents specifically. So just individuals that are supposed to take care of you, taking advantage of you. That's a rough go.
It kind of seems like him and Gardner Minshew are like cousins.
I could see that. Yeah, I see their like relation.
Yeah.
They have a humor about them. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to know Gardner Minshew.
I was so sad when the Colts didn't like re-sign him.
I want to see the bus that he lives on. Yeah. I don't know if it's like creepy. Like, it feels like going to a dude that lives on a bus.
They make some nice
could
buses
be creepy.
now. Like,
that's true. It doesn't have to be. Just so interesting. That's honestly it. I'm just interested in what a conversation with that man would be like.
Yeah, like those van lifers. They buy like.
Oh, that's true.
Really nice.
I never even thought about that. He's just a van guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like, wait, do you think he goes hiking a lot? I feel like van lifers go hiking a lot.
Like toilets in them.
That's probably why he's with the Raiders. A lot of hiking out there. A lot of that looks like that state's got to be like the epitome of like
van he can park his van anywhere.
Yeah.
It's a desert. He loves it.
He loves him some Vegas.
Yeah, he does.
Because he seems like he's also like kind of fratty.
He was pumped.
Yeah, so he's like, I get Vegas and I get desert. Like, he is climbing and he is doing shots.
Yeah.
For sure. Cleveland's a rough city.
Yeah.
Is that what like their nickname's like the Mistake by the Lake? Is that that city?
Know. I don't know much about Ohio.
It's got a lot of cities, but none of them are huge. I know that.
Okay.
What's the other one? Toledo. Maybe Toledo's the Mistake by the Lake. I don't know. I think the Cleveland people, the Cleveland Knights, people of Cleveland. I don't know. I think they go through a lot. I don't think that's an easy city. I think if they want to be mad, let them unite.
Cleveland rocks.
Oh, yeah. Drew Carey show.
Yeah.
Cleveland, yeah. It can come back.
That should have been the name of the Cleveland Guardians.
Cleveland Rocks?
Yeah, because they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You have the Rockies, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's too close. Okay. The Rocks and the Rockies. Yeah. That would feel like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. We can't have that. Maybe one of them is just like a guitar, though.
For sure.
But
the Cleveland Guitars. What is the Guardians even based off of? Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't know. I don't like it.
Who's their most famous person? The Kelsey brothers right now, I suppose. The Cleveland Taylor Swifts.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. She'll sue, though. She's very legalistic, so not a great one. I don't know, man. I have no luck to give to Deshaun Watson.
No luck to you, sir.
No luck to you. That's a great burn. What does someone say to that? No luck to you. I remove all luck from your life. I don't know if that's possible, but it's spooky season, so I'll figure out. There's a witch somewhere that's got to figure out how to cast that spell. Remove the luck. Put it elsewhere.
Yeah.
We unchristened thee. Well, that's it. That's today's show.
We did it.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Well,
one more thing.
Do you have a nightcap?
Yeah.
Tip it off. Let's go.
So this YouTube show, it like kind of disappeared, right?
Okay.
And then out of nowhere, they released a podcast.
Ooh.
And it is amazing. So I got to plug it. It's called Right Now.
Right Now. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because there's a band called Necrogoblicon.
That's
feel free to
rolls
look
off
it up.
The tongue.
Yeah, feel free to look them up. But they have this like little character guy named John Goblicon.
John Goblicon.
And he's a little goblin.
Of course he is.
He dresses up in a little goblin suit.
Love that.
And they were trying to do like a night show.
Is that the Cleveland Browns mascot? Is it actually him? Is it John?
Looks a little similar.
All right. Cool.
But they like tried to do this little night show thing where he had like a little desk and they had guests on. He had some like celebrity guests on his little night show.
Okay.
It kind of disappeared. And then out of nowhere, podcast, Right Now podcast with John Goblicon. His first guest was Andrew Santino.
Okay. Solid.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. He's John Goblicon's hilarious. I don't really care for the band at all.
Right.
I watch it for that little goblin guy. He's so funny.
The Cleveland Goblins. That could have been it.
I gotta just show you a picture so you can know what I'm talking about.
For everyone listening at home, this is your turn to Google this.
I will also
GPT
put a picture of him up.
Just like boop.
He's got 76,000 followers on Instagram.
Look at him go.
Whoa. Yeah, there he is. There's little John Goblicon.
Oh, he's creepy as heck.
Yeah.
He looks like a nightmare.
He's so funny though.
Oh,
is that his new? Oh yeah, he had the guys from Broken Lizard on. The guy who played Farva in Super Troopers.
Love it. Super creepy. That'll give me nightmares for days.
Not if you listen to him though. He's funny.
All right.
And it's Right Now, the podcast.
Perfect nightcap.
Yeah.
Leave everyone with some advice. Go watch a creepy goblin.
Do
Definitely
it.
the cousin to the Cleveland Browns elf.
It is.
All right, friends. Time to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
That is another episode of our Dinner Party Podcast. Come again. Bye.
Yeah.